Hey guys, Katya with Philadelphia Tribune. I love this show, and I
Oh, thank you.
really mean it. Echo, there's a part of me that wants to hug you and also be like, I'm gonna need you to slow down when you meet these women.
I
Just gonna be,
get that.
you're coming from a good place, but you need to get to know you before we start planning weddings and things
Self-care.
like that. When
Self-care.
you read the character, were you like, what is going on? Or were you like, this is going to be a lot of fun to explore?
Definitely more so the latter. What's interesting about the show and all these characters, they're based out of our core friend group out in LA. We're all, professionals of different perspectives, writers, directors, actors, whatnot. And we all studied at the Upright Citizens Brigade. And so Phil Augusta Jackson decided to create the show based off our friend group and us meeting at a wine bar every week. So there were definitely aspects of Noah that drew me in that were connected to me in some ways, like the fact that I like to say I'm a hopeful romantic. Definitely not as on top of it as Noah. And I definitely come from a perspective that you got to love yourself first before you can love anyone else. But he definitely read as a very playful character. And he's definitely like a heightened version of myself. So I have a lot of fun playing him.
Absolutely, Nicole. I love the fact that you are a curvy girl that is super confident and comfortable in herself. And she is the lone female in this core group of friends, and she doesn't have a problem telling them you tripping. Like, where, at the same time, she is comfortable in herself. And we don't get that often. Talk about the gift of being able to just be, just be your authentic self and just have fun with a role.
Yeah, I do love that Nikki is not weight obsessed. I feel like a lot of plus size fat people on television are weight obsessed. I like that none of her storylines dwell on it. I like that she freely dates men and they don't comment on like because that's just my life. It's I don't go on dates and they're like, oh, I'm so excited to be with the fatty. Like it's just not something that gets brought up all the time in my life. And then for being like the lone female or woman, that's only in the first episode. We meet Gracie Mercedes in episode 2, who plays Faye. And I like that they're two different women who have different opinions, but also similar opinions because I'm not always agreeing with all of my, lady friends all the time. So I think it's just fun to just get to be this confident person because that's who I am and that's what I get to bring to the role and it's been a really great time and I love the way she's written.
Oh, absolutely. And she's also, I think, as a woman, not afraid to tell her boys like, no, that's not cool. You know what I mean? And I think we don't see that enough in male female relationships. The balance. I also love that everybody is uniquely different, but at the same time, you're like a puzzle. You fit together and over this friendship and camaraderie. Talk about why it's so important for us to see that on television as Black people, because I don't, very rarely do we get to be just us in our own space, unapologetically having humanity. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily based in trauma. Like your thing, Echo, is we all have that friend that we be like, oh girl, oh boy, don't you
Uh-huh.
too fast. You know what I mean? And we have a friend like you or your character, Nicole. Talk a little bit, Echo, about that gift of just being in a creator space that allows you to be.
I mean, I heard this on a show and I cannot agree with it more. And it was a Black playwright, and they said, I feel like the most radical thing I can do right now is just write a story about a mom and a dad. It has no connotation anything else, because they expect us to be in this victimhood mentality or villain mentality so many times. So I take so much pleasure in the fact that we get to portray these multifaceted, layered people just existing. I think that's what's the beauty of it. It's like yeah, okay, they go to a wine bar, but it's really about them, their relationships, their experiences, their life, their love, their careers, and them as a unit coming together, and the stories and funny moments that happen in between all these things. And that's the beauty of it. It's like, because that's what TV is in a lot of ways. And it's cool just to get to live in a space where we're just making comedy, you know what I'm saying, for us. And it's like, we're not, you know, it's not, it shines a light on interesting perspectives about us, but it's just a comedy when it boils down to it, and a sitcom, and it's so freeing just to live in that human experience, you know. And I love that we get to see this whole cast of beautiful Black people living their best lives, thriving, dealing with different situations, and trying to survive on a day-to-day.
What about you, Nicole? And again, I mean, like Black people, we laugh a lot. That's just us, right? And I also love that we laugh about politically incorrect things. Like my husband and I do it all the time. We'd be like, funny but wrong, but it's still funny. And there are moments like that in the show, which I think shows more of our humanity. Expound a little bit about what Echo said, just being able to just be, you know, without any type of explanation.
Yeah, like we don't harp on like Black trauma, like we're not victims, we're not the aggressor, we're just people living. Like, will equality happen in film until we get a Black ladybird? You know, it's just like you get like all these white stories that are just like mundane. It's just like Ladybird's just about this girl who doesn't get along with her mom and she's exploring high school. It's like, where's ours? Where are our stories like that? Like, they're all not to knock on Precious, but like I did not grow up like Precious, you know, like I grew up a different way. And I just think the show is truly just radical in a way where it's just, you know, black joy. We deserve to be joyful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure. Much success with the show, more wine, more laughter, and you know, hopefully Noah will grow in his alone time.
I think he will. I think we'll be pleasantly surprised to see where he heads this season.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.